Hi guys, good morning. I don't feel well. Um, it looks like I'm gonna have to pursue small claims court for Mr. Patrick Flanagan. I have contacted him numerous times through text after he said he would return my security over on North Main Avenue. So I'm going to have to contact small claims. These are the 5 in this past year. We started out at the YWCA. I documented the harassment there, the threats of physical violence, the accusation of excrement in the bathroom. I filled out all the incidents reports. I submitted all the incidents reports, and they told me the police will laugh in my face. Nothing was done, and I was told I was being evicted. Okay, it was the same thing with State Street, the same dynamic with the bathroom, the ceiling pouring in water, the failure to fix anything, the abuse from the maintenance man. And I got to put a note about that because that's a big part of this. The bullying, calling me crazy when I alerted the landlord was on vacation, and I did him a favor by calling the fire department, or they told me to call the fire department because I called it in as an emergency because the whole ceiling was going to collapse and water was pouring in. I looked at apartments from over on State Street, and this Damon Morales, I don't know if he remembers me, but he showed me apartments over on State Street after I left State Street. So they're all familiar with each other. I think he showed a couple of them because the people from State Street were harassing me down the street, saying things, making jokes online about, how I'll be back because I went to North Main Street in Broad Albany, this Kathy Mussey, the same sort of thing. I barely moved in for a week. Nothing worked. She threatened to call the police on me. And again, I had to leave. Nothing worked with the heat, and I made a video about that. I went over to North Main Avenue with this Patrick Flanagan, the same thing. They were making jokes from the other 2 places and harassment. And I went and I saw a couple properties with this Damon Morales. Like I said, I don't know if he remembers, but it was the same sort of thing with this Patrick Flanagan. And again, with the maintenance man, the constant bullying, things weren't fixed. And I had to leave there because of the harassment. Again, the same dynamic. And here I am at Hudson Capital Properties with this Damon Morales. Like I said, I don't know if he remembers, but certainly there's a connection with these properties. Certainly they know each other. Certainly on State Street, they were stalking me, following me around. At the YWCA, they were. In Broad Albany, they were. Over here on North Main Avenue, they were. And now we're here on South Lark at Hudson Capital Properties. And I believe it's the same dynamic because the setup is different, or excuse me, the same. I'm sitting here, I don't have a refrigerator, and I could be on the hook for potentially $5,000 or $6,000 because this continues. So we have the 5 properties there. I will try to fill out small claims for Patrick Flanagan. I have contacted him numerous times now through text. He said he would return my security, and I haven't heard from him. So I will give him a few more days. If not, then your next step is to contact small claims. I did do that with Ridge Road in Broad Albany when I first was starting to get divorced. The Jennifer and her husband, I forget his name right now, Cernak, and it was the same dynamic. I filled out papers for small claims because of the constant harassment there, going through my garbage, no heat, same dynamic as all these other places. Scams with the TV. The TV was a scam also with some of these other ones. This Patrick Flanagan, they'll leave you a TV. This Kathy Mussey, and then it's a scam. So in both of those, the TV was part of it, and so it was with Jennifer Cernak. I fell for the scam. I paid $100 for the TV, and it was a scam. It didn't work. I contacted small claims because they vandalized my car, which law enforcement I made a report. There was the same dynamic with the heat, with things not working, stealing, breaking, and this was certainly after I was first made homeless. It's out of sequence. This was when I was first on Ridge Road in Broad Albin, when I was first put on the street after I was violently removed from my own properties. That was Ridge Road. This Jennifer Cernak and her husband. So I went and I filed small claims numerous times with Fulton County. I never heard back from them. I repeatedly called, but they didn't even bother to return my correspondence. So that's small claims. So we're going to see what goes on here, because the abuse, the harassment, the kind of money you keep shelling out and paying for, and it's a slow pilfering of what's left of my assets, which isn't very much at this point. So certainly this has been the dynamic with every place I have tried to rent since they violently removed me from my own properties, stole all my stuff out of my storage unit, and we can talk about the storage unit scam. Oftentimes people are forced to put their stuff in a storage unit, and it certainly, in my case, was not secure or safe. They stole everything out of the storage unit. They stole my car, my brand new car, and it's been on and on with pilfering of my money. So I will give Patrick Flanagan a little bit more time. This Damien Morales, I did contact him. It's the same dynamic here, and I will continue to follow up with him. I am really sick. I don't feel well, but this is the absolute hell that I continue to face. After reporting domestic violence and reporting a sexual assault, being in shock. This was 5 years homeless before I was even allowed to go into the YWCA working with social services. 5 years, and this has been the trajectory now. This place was when I first got divorced, and I can go through some of the other ones here. Trying to get housing, and then on and off homelessness for 5 years. And then finally, going to the YWCA, and the abuse started again. The constant dynamic with each one of these places that I try to rent. And they'll tell you and laugh and make jokes how they know each other. So, it's not a big place. Certainly with Albany losing its capital status, we can see what's happening here, because this has been a horrible experience and it continues. Be safe, guys.